Today feels like it's an absolutely new story, like something's different or something's changed and you feel really lethargic and you're not sure exactly what to do, then hang in here for this broadcast. We're going to be talking about that specifically. Today is a step 25 day, which means it's actually a spiritual day. It's a day where you're going to be floating in the clouds, but your heart, your whole drive, your action, your ego, and your life story comes together today. So it's going to be a big day. Looking forward to seeing what today brings. And people can hear me, it looks like. Yesterday we couldn't hear, had to shut down the live. Hey, how you doing there, Shane? Have you up in a second. Help seizures. Yeah, if you have seizures or any questions, you can DM us and we'll give you a message. TMJ, piece of cake. Go to our DM, we'll send you a set of recommendations. Yes, you can hear me, great. Hip dips, be reversed, 100%. Lower reset, barefoot sprinter routine number 2. And if that's the biggest problem you have, then congratulations. But hip dips usually means that you've got too much going on in here, which is anger, and too much going on there, which is resentment. Can you read cellulite rather? Wow, man, questions today. Thyroid meds, everybody's coming in here with like hot, really wild questions. I was born breech. Did the same maneuver as C-section. Yeah, I mean, I would anyways. Yes. Scoliosis. We can send you some information. You DM us and go back in our feed and you'll see a repair of a scoliosis in 1 hour. And you'll see several posts where we talk about scoliosis from 27 degree all the way to 0. Lyme disease. How do you know you have Lyme disease? Most likely misdiagnosed by them for the most part. Wow. Man. Dislocated patella. Endometriosis. My big toe joint under bunion surgery. Whoa. You guys, this is unbelievable. I've never seen this many direct questions in a row. How do I get estrogen and progesterone to balance? The 28 days, $30 LSA. If you're already doing it, your estrogen and progesterone is going to balance. If you've done the 28-day reset, if you still have chemicals in your diet and you're still putting chemicals on your body through perfumes or soaps or makeups or wearing chemicals in your clothes or washing your clothes with Tide, you're not going to be able to get rid of those estrogen and progesterone balances. In order to get the hormones back to balance, you have to take the stress out, you have to remove all the chemicals from your system, you have to hydrate your body. And that's what the 28-day reset, if you follow those protocols, if you clear out the toxins and the chemicals in your life, and you reduce your stress once a day and hydrate your body, your hormones will naturally rebalance. Plantar fasciitis. Lower reset, barefoot sprinter routine number 2. It's on our website. You're going to need Irish sea moss and diatomaceous earth. Golfer elbow. Whoa, man, everybody. Torn meniscus. Look, you guys seeing a pattern here? Everybody's got a physical problem. Depression, OCD. 28-day reset. Hillary. Vagus nerve, please. Upper reset. Go to vagus nerve. Go to the upper reset. If that doesn't get rid of your vagus nerve issue, even the first time you do it, then most likely chronic dehydration. You're going to need some supplements. Mushrooms are good for the gut. Osteoporosis, what to do? Increase your hormone or your minerals. Start off with diatomaceous earth, then get Irish sea moss. If you want to add to that, you can add bladder wrack. But diatomaceous earth and Irish sea moss, and do fascial maneuvers. Osteoporosis, osteopenia is also constriction of blood flow in and around the bone. And when the fascia is too tight, wound from dehydration, or from overuse, or from fear, that can cause that. What does pain in the right thumb mean? It means that you're having a lung issue and probably dealing with grief. Oh, hey, Kim. Yeah, let's do that right now. If you haven't done it yet, let's do a quick opener. Take your left hand, grab your right thumb, turn it forward like a handle, like a motorcycle handle. Pull it apart. Pull your left elbow around, stretch. If you want to, you're going to squat, but if you want to squat and add more to it, take your right foot behind and breathe. 6 times. Okay, it's going to open up the lung meridian that goes up to here. The emotion is brief. Feel the lungs starting to get more capacity the first time you do that. So we can do the second one. Take your right hand, put it on the left thumb. Now turn forward, hold it apart, pull your right elbow around, turn your head to the left, squat. And again, you can breathe right here, but if you want to advance it, take your left foot behind and breathe 6 times through your mouth. You notice that the breaths are forceful, that creates compression and expansion in your body. Whoa, I got a little dizzy there. What do you do for edema? It depends on where your edema is, but if you have edema, almost certainly you have constriction in your fascia and dehydration. So you get Irish sea moss, diatomaceous earth. Power Kirk 30 helps release the layers of fascia and then do fascia maneuvers. If it's edema in your foot, which are ankles and legs, which most people are talking about, then you do the lower reset and barefoot sprinter routine number 2. Sun sign, you just go to astro.com, put in your birth information, astro.com. Thank you. Looks like Talabachi Prasad. It says ask, can you help? Client has lung from fire, secondhand smoke, suggestions. Yes, immediately diatomaceous earth, Irish sea moss, if you have a lung issue from fire, secondhand smoke, and then do the upper reset protocol, and then do the lower reset protocol second day. That's going to start to get things moving. There's more you can do after that. I would also, if you can, get the 28-day reset bundle. The Power Kirk 30 releases the inner layers of fascia around the organs, including the lungs, opening them up so that the breath will create expansion, and it'll actually create friction in the layers of fascia around the lungs so that the microcirculation can happen, bringing blood back to it. How to release hips. Lower reset, barefoot sprinter routine number 2. It's on our website. Okay, let's talk to Shane. Oh, Shane's not there. What? They're not requesting. Okay, I'm trying to bring you up, Shane. Where do you find the 28-day reset? On our website, humangarage.net. Hey, Shane.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good. You can hear me better than yesterday.
Much better than yesterday.
No idea what happened. We also had our messages, our DMs shut down for 24 hours when they loaded the new platform.
Yeah.
We got a 24-hour block. A bunch of people did, I guess.
Yeah. It was an interesting day on Instagram yesterday. It's funny, actually, just before I requested and you accepted, my left ear started ringing. Just not like tinnitus or anything like that. It was just kind of like a little sign for a little download or upgrade or however you want to say it.
Yeah, it's hearing something about your emotional, spiritual state.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. And we're in Pisces. It's a spiritual day. So what does water and spirituality have to do with each other?
Well, I mean, water is everything. It's part of everything. It's been around since the existence of time, and it's made up of the two of the most basic and abundant elements in the world. But
yeah, so yeah, what are the benefits of water?
Well, I mean, what kind of water are you talking about?
Well, I mean, you're H2 water expert.
I mean, we've talked about this before. This regular H2O is kind of not what we have been taught that it is. It's a solvent, and when it's not done properly, it's not really providing you with any benefits. And many times, it's actually causing more harm than good.
So when we filter water, it becomes H2O, and we should not technically drink H2O. You know what's funny? Back in the clinic days, before I really understood this concept, we used to tell people, go back 13 years ago, eat your water. And that was the way to get out of the dehydration and health issues. We tell people to eat your water we just knew it worked, but I didn't have the science back then to back it up. But why is it that H2O is a solvent and regular water or normal filtered water or reverse osmosis water, why should it not be drinking? What's the problem with it?
Because it's not structured properly. Not only is it not going to absorb into your body in a case like reverse osmosis or distilled water. I always say if you don't filter your water, you become the filter for your water. And that stands true. At the very least, you do need, if you're going to drink water, make sure it's at least filtered. But if it's not structured properly and you take the minerals out of it as well, then your body becomes the minerals for your water. And, a lot of times you hear people saying, oh, my pee is clear, so I must be really hydrated. No, that's actually not the case. That means the water that you're drinking is going right through you. You're peeing your hydration out. And I do agree. And I understand that even 15 years ago, it would make more sense eating your water. However, the way that things have advanced with the way that they grow fruit and vegetables now, I would kind of disagree with that.
Unless you're eating farm-grown organic, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, watermelon nowadays in North America, in Canada, the watermelon up here does not have seeds, and so I mean. So that water, that structured water that is absorbing into your body better is also full of glyphosate, which is going to cause cancer, destroy your gut, and among many, many things.
Yeah. So that's a good point. So for eating our water, and then this is one of the issues that we have. A lot of people are against carnivore is a big thing, and I have no problem with whatever you want to eat. As a matter of fact, our bodies are designed to even eat the shittiest stuff for decades and still not really cause a problem. So it's like people are like 1 year on a diet. They're like, it's so bad for your body can't handle it. Well, you've been eating that way for 30 years. You changed 1 year and you healed yourself. That's a pretty good machine. That means there's nothing wrong with the machine. It's that the machine works really well. And I don't encourage eating bad food and stuff like that, but it's the chemicals. And as we eat organic food, if it's truly organic and if it's grown at a farm, and especially if that farm is close to you, all of those have contributory factors, because it's not just hydration, it's not just minerals, it's local minerals, it's local handlers, it's how far that produce travels.
Yeah, like when the first day that I got to Kasamaya Khan in Tulum with you guys, what we did was the honey ceremony. It gets you adapted to the area that you're in, and it's awesome.
That's what we're doing right now. Actually, tonight, 6 p.m. honey ceremony.
Yeah. You don't need to make me jealous of not being there. I already am jealous enough. I wish I traded my trip last week for us coming down to Costa Rica. But lesson learned. It is what it is. Next time for sure. It looks like you guys are having an amazing time. That storm last night looked phenomenal.
Yeah, it's actually just clearing up. We had this unbelievable rain. It was like it was just like monsoon type. It was really cool actually.
It looks amazing. I love, not only when it's a storm like that. I love the rain. I mean, live in the Pacific Northwest, you kind of have to learn to love the rain. But when it's a storm like that, the electricity from that storm, it was like actually again when we were in Tulum and we were in the ocean and there's that massive storm above us, and like you could feel these shifts happening, and it was really cool.
So somebody asked Stephanie Neros, currently detoxing from H2 filtered water.
Yeah.
So she's one of your clients, right? So says, will drinking higher alkaline levels increase the body's pH? See, this is a really deceiving topic. Because I'll explain something, because I've been educating people on urine therapy. It was funny because Cynthia went down with a fever, 103. She drank her urine yesterday. Within an hour and a half, fever gone. She's functioning. And I said, you got to do it again in the evening. She didn't do it. By the morning, 101. And I'm like,
Really?
okay, do it again. She took it. Within 30 minutes, it was down. So, but what I was talking about was, there's a misconception on how the body's pH, like our blood pH. If it changes even a little bit, we're dead or really sick. So when we say adjusting the pH, we're talking nutritional pH, which we have a pH on our skin.
Mm-hmm.
We have one in our mouth.
Yeah.
We have one in our stomach. We have one in our small intestine, one in our large intestine, one in our bladder, one in our kidneys, and they're all different.
Yeah.
And the blood is constant. So what the blood is doing, and on our skin too, the blood is the regulator between them. It's the filter between all of them, and it has to be constant. So the body will use any amount of energy to keep your blood pH the same. So if you're not taking care of it, your body has to work harder to maintain the pH in the blood.
Yeah.
Now that's where the energy draw goes.
Yeah.
And this is where people, their common argument is when they talk about drinking alkaline water. Alkaline water has one benefit. It'll open up the flap in your stomach. After that, there's no other benefit to drinking alkaline water because it's going in a 1 pH environment.
Yeah.
That
1.8 pH hydrochloric acid in your stomach. It's going to balance that out real quick.
Yeah.
And, your blood needs to be between 7.365 and 7.465. If it's anything outside of that, and that is a tenth of the pH scale, you're going to be sick. And so, and then that's why people think that, it is 7.365 to 465 is slightly alkaline. But, what your body really does want is a balance between the energy that it's using and the exhaust that comes from the energy that it's using. And that's why hydrogen water is, does as well as it does. And, what's really good to see is the amount of people.
So what is the exhaust? I mean, for people who are tuning in, what does the exhaust mean?
So the exhaust, okay, so there's the energy production that's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and that's the life force and energy. That's what fueled your body. The exhaust is what's called oxidative stress, reactive oxygen species, and in particular, the hydroxyl radical. And so that is at an all-time high because our bodies are using energy at an all-time high. And on top of that, our bodies, because our guts are damaged due to the glyphosate in our foods, the air that we're breathing, the food that we eat, the drinks that we drink, our bodies aren't creating enough hydrogen as they normally do endogenously inside your body as they should to keep up with the overload of the exhaust that's being created from the extra energy being used, which then means that you get into a vicious cycle because then, again, your body's using more energy to try to keep up. And eventually you're going to run out of that fuel. Right.
Okay, so this is what we mean by this. And so what happens is that our bodies are trying to balance itself all the time, and it's a metabolic function to do so. So in a metabolic function, it's like burning fire in your stove. There's an exhaust, or there's something coming off, and that's what we're talking about, is how does your body clear that?
Yeah. Yeah, like the exhaust to your car using fuel. Like there's many different examples or analogies that you can use. And for those that drink alkaline water or those that think alkaline water is helping you and helping balance that pH, the problem is you're only scratching the surface. Like if you cut open an apple and let it sit there for half an hour, it's going to turn brown, right? So drinking alkaline water is like cutting that sliver of brown apple off so you get fresh apple again. But if you're not changing the environment in which the apple is in and you let it sit there for another half hour, it's just going to turn brown again. And I think many of us probably know the reason that is because of the oxidation, and it's similar to our body. If you are living in an acidic state, which many people are, you're just turning that apple brown. And so the point is you need to get to the root cause of why you're acidic, why the apple is brown, and that's the oxidation, the oxidative stress, and that comes from the energy that you're using in your body, and your body not having the ability to keep that up or keep up to that.
Okay, so I don't have the money for a machine. The machines go for the price range from a small home one to a large one is what?
$15.95 to $33.95
Okay.
US. Now that includes tax and shipping,
Yeah.
and there's actually a big sale on right now, which is they're 25% off right now.
Okay, well, that's cool. Okay, so the 25% off if you're interested, but let's go to the side I don't have the money. So how do I, what water do I drink? How do I make that water I'm drinking good?
So,
I've got maybe a clay filter, or I've got a Berkey or something like that. What do I do?
So what you would want to do in that case is either there are hydrogen tablets that you can buy, like Dr. Mercola has a great one. However, the cost on that ends up becoming quite high. I would highly recommend getting a portable hydrogen generator, which is only going to cost, $200 or so. I've got a great one that I can recommend. And I brought it with me when I was in Mexico last week. I brought it with me when I'm in Vegas. I always take it with me when I'm traveling. That's another good point to it. But you're going to get years of use out of that. Whereas with the tablets, you're only getting 30 days use for one person, which with each purchase. So you're going to have to continuously purchase over and over and over. And the problem that I've found with the hydrogen tablets is if they don't dissolve properly, the water, well, one, you're not getting the hydrogen, and two, you're not getting the it's going to get this kind of earthy, grosser taste, whereas hydrogen water should taste absolutely phenomenal to you. It should taste like any other water, no water you've ever tasted before.
Well, I've also been using this.
There you go. Oh, let's spirit.
Yeah, so I got to tell you, so we had filtered water here. It's like a Berkey when we came in. We set up we travel with our Alcaviva. So before it was hooked up a couple of days, and then traveling, I take this, I put water in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised at how good it is. It tastes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it tastes good, and I can taste and I can feel the hydrogen. Then this is not a bad alternative. I mean, for someone, because you can keep using this over and over again for personal use. It's not a bad alternative. It's like what, $250 or something like that, or
200. It's 200 Canadian.
Oh, 200 Canadian. Also for Americans, that's like $20. No, I mean it's
pretty much
like $150 American, right?
Yeah, and those I believe are 25% off on the site right now too.
Okay, so that one was actually, the spirit was actually is interesting because when I travel, one of the things is I go to get, because you can't take the water through the security, and if I'm on a 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 hour flight, a lot of times I just hoof it. I don't drink anything, and so what I like about this is I get a water like a water that I will drink. Believe it or not, is Evian. I test it out for my body. Evian will work, but because it's not fluorinated, it's not processed, stuff like that. And there's a couple other ones. The Glass Boss is actually pretty good, but I'll put the Evian
but the Boss doesn't make any glass anymore. It's all freaking plastic.
Yeah, I saw that. So I put the Evian water in there as I want to consume it on the plane. Yeah. And I can drink that, and I still don't drink a lot of water anyways. Yeah. But I can consume that. I found that to be really good. The other part too is taking a Berkey, or here they have these clay filters. I'll show you them. Yeah. They're actually surprisingly good. I mean, I'm actually shocked at how good it is. Oh. So yeah, so it's a clay filter.
Nice.
So
the wonderful thing about Mother Nature.
So what it is, it's like a Berkey, but the whole filter is clay, and so I was here. I tested the water, and I'm like, hey, This is actually good. I mean, because the first thing we get here is like, am I going to drink water until the Alcaviva is set up? And it was actually good. And then
Yep.
I put it in the it's called the Spirit, is it?
Yeah, Spirit H2. For those that are asking, that's spirit-h2.com, and the link is or the IG is Spirit H2 Water. And you know what? Someone else mentioned that. I heard that those portable ones, the cheap ones, are not good. In many cases, you're absolutely right. This hydrogen water is hitting the market hard, and because a lot more people are talking about it, it's becoming more mainstream, and that's phenomenal to see. However, with what comes with that is people that want to make a quick buck off of that, and yeah, you do have to be sure of the type of hydrogen generator you're getting, whether it's portable or the one you hook up at your home. And that's where I just, please follow me, message me. I can lead you in the right direction.
I actually appreciated that. It was really handy for the trip because, like I said, normally I don't drink when I travel just because I don't want to.
Yeah.
And this actually made my traveling a lot more functional.
Well,
I'm not a very good. I can take a lot of supplements because I usually take when I'm traveling, I usually take the fascial fuel, and I don't eat. I travel fasted because because the pressure changes. If you're fasted, when the pressure changes, you don't have the same contraction. It's almost like compartment syndrome, and you get a mini compartment syndrome. And so, like when I'm fasted and I travel, and I use the fascial fuel to do it, then I function at a really high level. It's like a superpower. So, so the other part too is taking the water from one of those clay machines or a Berkey, putting it in a glass jar, like we had a glass jar with a spout, putting in crystals, like quartz crystals, shungite, and also water for the rocks at the bottom, so that the water, I would fill up the bottom of the jar like this, so there's rocks and crystals, and the water makes its way down to the rocks and crystals, and it comes out okay.
Yep. So I mean, it's going to come out, depending on the crystals that you put in there, it's going to come out at least somewhat structured better, which we talked about earlier with the eating your water. It's structured better, so it enters your cells better. But there's going to be no water that enters your cell better than a hydrogen water. Now there's,
Yeah, obviously we got that, but it's like we have all these times where we can't, and so like today was we were traveling down here, and I was then thinking, okay, well, how are all the ways that I do this when I'm on the road? I mean, one of the ways is I've got a machine in my luggage because I only have a backpack. So if you ever see me carrying luggage to an airport, it's because I'm carrying a water machine. I'm carrying like tripod.
You almost fell down the stairs walking up into the plane because your backpack looked pretty heavy.
Yeah, so that's how I carry it. Everything that I own literally fits in that backpack. Everything.
Hey, that's awesome, man. That's a minimalist lifestyle is the way to go.
Yeah,
I respect that a big time.
So okay, so let's talk about the water itself again. Let's get back to the science of it, because we're getting a lot of questions about deuterium depleted.
Yeah. So yeah, deuterium is not something you want in your water, but it's deuterium depleted water. I looked up the actual process of making it. It's essentially distilled water, and distilled water is on the same level as reverse osmosis water. So if you're going to do that, the most important thing to do is just make sure at the very least you're remineralizing your water. And then, as you mentioned, if you can put crystals or let it run through the crystals or minerals itself, that's an even better way of doing it.
Yeah, and so that's why. So we get a lot of the questions about deuterium depleted water, and I can't see a case where, there was a point where drinking distilled water was seen as a way to work with certain diseases, but the way I understand the body, I can't see a case where taking away the electrical signaling of the body, which is in the minerals, the 102 minerals that the body needs, is a good thing. So, now we have the water. Now we're going to split the water. That's what the machine does. It splits it. And for people who don't know, let's do a little lesson. How much pH is in water? What's the pH scale?
Well, the pH scale is 0 to 14.
Okay,
right?
so if I'm getting 9 pH out of
Yep.
the machine, that means 5 pH is coming out of the wastewater.
Secondary. Yep, secondary hose. It's always going to add up to 14. So whether it's 3 coming out of the main hose, it'll be 11 coming out of the bottom, vice versa. It'll always add up to 14. But again, when it comes to that pH, that's kind of a byproduct of ionized hydrogen water. The key is getting that hydrogen. Again, the alkalinity, especially in ionized water, is not doing anything for your body. It's not affecting any pH at all. Even in comparison to, say, if you added baking soda to your water, or which is sodium bicarbonate, or added minerals to your water to alkalize it that way. It will not buffer the acids in your body. So there's no concern about drinking alkaline water.
So when I go on the acid scale of a machine, and first of all, ionizers are ionizers. Now, the quality of ionization really differs. Like for example, if you don't have a really good pre-filter, like this has a 16-stage pre-filter. So if you don't have a good pre-filter, you'll be ionizing forever chemicals, fluoride. And this is the problem with there's a lot of machines out there that their filter does not take out these chemicals. And if the filter's not taking out these chemicals, you're actually making it worse, not...
you're making the water will be more bioavailable for your body. The last thing that you want to be doing is making arsenic, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, so on and so forth, so the crazy amount of things that are in your water more bioavailable. And this is exactly why I choose Aquaviva as my company of choice for my hydrogen water, because their 16-stage dual filtration is proven, the only one that's proven, to remove 249 contaminants and purify the water before it goes in. And when I say purify, the cool thing about these filters is they actually still leave the minerals in. And again, there's third-party EPA lab-approved testing on the site that proves all this. You can see exactly what it's taking out and what it's not taking out, and that's something that they're very transparent about, because the magic of these machines is it's adding the electricity into it and it's splitting the water and creating that therapeutic hydrogen. But that cannot happen without it being purified first. Cannot.
So we're splitting the water. Now let's go to the acid side. So there's 2 levels of acid that we deal with. One is really good for cosmetics or for cleaning, and like acid level 1, it feels like you've got a facial and gut toner. Like it literally feels like I have a facial when I wash my face with it.
Yeah, you can throw your skin toner away and just use that water. It's great. You mentioned the pH of your skin. Actually, that's a good point about the different pHs of your body, because the pH of your face is different than the pH of your skin on your body.
If I could, if I could shower in it, I would shower in it. I mean, it's that good. I mean, I have done it where I've taken it in the bathroom for a while and had it hooked up, and then would put the water and sponge it on, because I wanted to see what it was like, right? So, so the idea is that that's really good for cosmetics or for your skin, and skin is your largest organ next to your fascia, which is actually your largest organ. So if you help your body maintain a proper pH balance on your skin, and your skin then by default, you're reducing the amount of oxidative stress that you're creating in your body.
Yeah, absolutely. It's how, like I said, the vicious cycle that happens on a regular stance when you don't have one of these machines. It's like the opposite. It's a phenomenal cycle, because you can use that acidic water topically for your skin, and then the hydrogen water the hydrogen's increasing your ability to keep up with the oxidative stress on the inside of your body.
Get a lot of skin cleaners and toners out of the way. That's like $20-$30 a month. Okay.
Oh, 100%. Easy. The amount of
what we did, and by the way, in Lions Bay, we had to force the issue, because people would still bring in like sprays and stuff like that. So I took everything out. I put spray bottles in, and you had to fill up the spray bottle, because if I even let the other one in, they'll use it. So then we take the acid level 2. Now that one is for cleaning.
Yeah, that one is you can use acid level 2 on your skin for things like acne, pimples, blemishes. If you have really bad eczema or psoriasis, I just recommend finishing off with the acid level 1. But and then another one that Jordan would attest or can attest to is when you cut yourself using acid level 2, it'll clear out the cut very easily and help stop the bleeding very quickly. I'm also
cauterizes right away. Jordan cut his thumb with our razor sharp Ginsu swords. His thumb was hanging off like this. We put it back down. We put it in the water, and then we wrapped it up. And within 2 days, you couldn't even see the cut. It was such a sharp cut. Yeah. And I did the same thing. Cynthia did the same thing. Jason did the same thing. There's something about those swords that we use and the thumbs that get it. If you like to cook, it's only a matter of time until you slip up once. It's going to happen, right? We're humans. We make mistakes. And so having that there when you need it is huge. You mentioned Cynthia. One thing I always think about with the acid level 2 is cleaning that mirror on the little we had a mirror. So for everybody to know, we had a mirror in Lions Bay. It's an old antique piece, and there's mirror. Yeah. We had tried. It had all that dark kind of. It's like almost like a cloud. And we had tried to get people to clean it. We tried all kinds of cleaners because it's such a beautiful piece. And Shane came up and installed the filter, and I said, well, let's go try it. We first wipe, it took all of the crap off the mirror. So, and that water, when you put it into the spray bottle, it lasts for 5 days. You could spray it for cleaning toilets, for cleaning sinks. I put it in the thing for the mop for the floor.
Yeah.
Because we have a steam cleaner for the floor, but we also have that little hand one. I use it for that, for daily cleaning. Yeah. Clean the counters with it, clean glass without streaking. So that, you take glass cleaner, you take your bleaches and your bleach cleaners, your toilet water cleaners, you take all of that stuff, that equals literally another roughly, especially at Lions Bay, that's about $80 to $80 a month, roughly there. Yep. So as a person, even as an individual, you're spending $30 a month on that. So you're now at 600. You're at like $600 to $1,000 a year just on cleaning products that go away with using a filter. Yeah,
I mean that's the thing. Is it? Just a drinking water, just having hydrogen water to drink alone is super beneficial to have in your house, 100% worth the investment. But that's where, and again, this is where I really have a passion, is making sure that you're getting all the use. Because, I mean, there's 8 different levels that are created with this machine, all at the press of a button, right? So another thing we didn't talk about with the acid level 1 that a lot of people use it for is watering their plants and keeping cut flowers. So like when you get, a bouquet of roses or whatever, using acid level 1 will help them keep a lot longer, and so that's another
we've seen that for sure. Now, somebody said a good question. So if you use Alcaviva, do you still need Irish moss diatomaceous earth? The answer is yes, because the diatomaceous earth is the element of silica. It's the primary element. The rest of it, I've been taking it now for 3 years straight. And it has a lot to do with why my hair is changing color, also why my fascia, because if you want to go look at 31 benefits of taking diatomaceous earth. You can actually DM us, we can give it to you, or you can actually just go with 31 evidence-based facts about diatomaceous earth. It literally gives your fascia the structural rebuilding tools to rebuild itself. And then the diatoms exfoliate your small intestines. And then the silica is what allows you to absorb the minerals. And right now, the reason why Irish sea moss, and please, if you're taking our supplements and you've been doing it for a long time, do not continue to buy our supplements. I want you to go and get Irish sea moss in the plant form and make it into a gel. Use it in your soups, use it in your smoothies, because your body starts to memorize delivery systems. Like if I tell you, Shane, about your favorite chicken wings, you immediately start thinking, your body starts salivating, you start creating enzymes, bacteria, It's equivalent for it. So it's a memorized delivery system that gets the body into the function.
Yeah.
Your body can't do that with a pill. So as great as our supplements are, we want you to move from supplements to natural source. Supplements are there to supplement you until you can do it naturally. Diatomaceous earth is a food ingredient. It's called food grade for a reason. Irish sea moss is a food ingredient, and those are the things we no longer get from our soil. So those are things that should be considered part of your food budget, not considered part of your extra care budget.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with that. Genie, yes, level 1 can be used to clean wood. Pretty much anything in your home, it's phenomenal. And you know, again, when you have the machine, you have an unlimited source of it. So if whatever water it is that you're using for whatever you're using it for, try a different water. Again, it's the press of a button, and that's all it takes to switch between the different levels that you get from the water.
Here's a good one. Somebody was asking about, said throw some light on what you can do when you have OCD tendencies with intrusive thoughts. Okay, so let me tell you about how the body works. Your thoughts are not your thoughts. You have 10% of your cells are human cells, 90% of your cells are bacterial, viral, and parasitic. So we are a government of our body, and when our hormones or serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, testosterone, estrogen, etc. are balanced, we have good thoughts and they're not racing. When our body's dealing with stress, oxidative stress, or the hydroxy radicals, then you start to have obsessive thoughts. So one of the ways to work with obsessive thoughts is to reduce the stress in the body. And the body produces 10 liters of hydrogen per day. And if you're under even a small amount of stress, it's 5 liters. If you're under a large amount of stress, it's 1 liter to 0. And that means your body's going to have all of these obsessive thoughts because it's your brain and your body's busy doing work.
Yeah, it isn't. There's that balance is gone. So you're using all of the different. You're using all of your energy to take care of everything else. It's again, there's that vicious cycle. And I was actually doing a podcast with a doctor in Idaho this week, and we were talking about testosterone. Testosterone replacement therapy got brought up, and he knows hydrogen quite well. And he took him 15 seconds to find a study that shows that hydrogen will help upregulate or regulate your testosterone levels, and that's hormones in general. And that's one of the cool benefits on top of hydrogen's ability to reduce oxidative stress. It helps. It's what's called a cell signaling molecule. So because it's the size that it is, has the ability to get inside, permeate your cells, it'll basically get up on the soapbox, get the bullhorn out, and tell your body what to do. And that's why it helps so much. It opens the NRF2 pathway. It helps people that have the MTFHR gene mutation. And again, it helps get you back to that balanced metabolic state, which is where you want to be.
Yes, absolutely. So what was his take on specifically on the effects on testosterone?
Well, it upregulates. It will actually increase your testosterone. Like I know a lot of men that are on the TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. I've been training. Like I like to lift heavy things up and put them down. And the training plan that I'm on is created as if I was taking 400 milligrams of testosterone, but I don't juice. I water. It's because of my hydrogen intake, not only its ability to increase my testosterone, but its ability to mitigate lactic acid buildup and increase my recovery. It's incredible.
So if you go, somebody's asking where they can get natural forms of Irish sea moss, go to our website under products and partners, and you'll find survivalmoss.com. So somebody asked, what about water with vibrations added to it? Ben Greenfield, hey Ben, has a device that can add vibrations of berberine to a glass of water, which creates ammonium salt. which basically is regulating your blood sugar and glucose levels. So it's helping balance. But if you are vibrating your water, you can produce that. But if your water isn't structured and your water has deleterious chemicals in it, then you're going to have issues still. And you're going to be solving one issue by regulating the hormonal spread from the insulin and how the body processes. But you're going to be using all this energy on the other side to deal with the water that's there. So the idea is, if you are drinking hydrogen-rich water, it's already balancing your nervous system, giving your body the energy. The reason why you have to help your body with berberine is because your body's energy is dysfunctional. If our whole philosophy of fascia movers, why it works, our whole system is based on give your body the tools, bring it back into a natural balance, and let it do what it's supposed to. By all the biohacking, quite frankly, if you just look at it, the biohackers aren't healthy, generally. I mean, they are for a short period of time, but look at them over a long period of time. And I know, I've done lab work on like thousands of them, literally thousands of them in the clinic.
Yeah.
And if you're a biohacker, hear this for what I'm saying. Please do not take this the wrong way. I have been a biohacker since the 80s. When we didn't have tools, we used all kinds of things. I was using sodium loading and depleting. I was using egg ablum and desiccated liver with breath and function work. Back in the 80s when I was bodybuilding, that was the origin of biohacking. Today it's a bunch of machines. And the body can perform better than any machine that man can make, but the body has to have the basic building blocks. One of them is oxygen. The other one is water. The minerals to conduct it. Has to have flow in the body to move it. So give your body all the things that it needs to build with, and then if you need a machine, use a machine. But if you're using a machine in replacement for it, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, machine's just a tool. It's a tool to help you get to where you want to be. I mean, quite honestly, if you're operating at a higher vibrational state, look at the experiment that Emoto did with with just adding vibration to the water, and you're just putting happy, joyful, grateful, love on the water, and you look at the water structure after.
Take the Alcaviva water, take a sound bowl at 432 hertz, put that into the water. There's nothing more. So your question, brain metabolism, is right. Adding vibration to the water changes the way that the body absorbs the water and what information, because water is information. So you're going to change the way that water absorbs and brings into the body, which is super powerful. And thanks for clarifying you weren't just looking for berberine. But yes, vibration to water is super powerful, but your water still has to be good.
Yeah.
Vibration is not going to get rid of the fluorides. It's not going to get rid of the forever chemicals. Vibration itself doesn't mean that you've structured the water. Now, you can vibrate water into structure. That is a true statement. But you want to give your body the same structure. And somebody asked this earlier, using Alcaviva water, is it like taking a mineral spring? And the answer is yes. It's like taking water out of the, because in nature, water swirls. And it swirls in a stream, it swirls and it back swirls. And the sun, the light, the ultraviolet light hits it. That's what gives water its structure. And hydrogenated or ionized water is reproducing that.
Yeah, it's alive water, you know. And when you to add to what you just said about the spring water, I would say yes, the spring water at the top of like the Himalayas type of thing, like the beginning part of it coming down into our water source, and you know, it's going to the top of a mountain and drinking that water.
My husband and I bath and have a speaker by the bath with frequencies going on. Yes, that does change the water. Absolutely. Super powerful. Like, one of the things that I like to do is well, we are water. We're 70% water. I play frequency music in the background all the time. If you can get a natural source, it's better, but it still works. I play on my Sonos. I play frequency water, and I'm vibrating my water in my body at a specific frequency. That works really, really well.
Yeah.
Yes, and Rob said raise the vibration by saying the Ho'oponopono to it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. We have kids experiment in school. Say good things to one plant, bad things to another plant. What's the mechanism? We're talking to the water.
Yep. There's for anybody that has Gaia, the more spiritual version of Netflix, highly recommend it. But there's a really good documentary called Healing Vibration on there, and I know Rob would agree with this. The most healing vibration that you can hear is your own. And so, this is why when you talk to yourself, you talk to your cells, you talk to your food, you pray on your food, you pray into your water. That's why it makes such a big difference.
December 16th.
Yeah.
Tickets are on.
Okay, so shameless plug, December 16th, Vancouver, tickets on sale.
Yes. Awesome. I can't wait for that.
You're gonna have we want you to have a booth set up there, talking to people, showing stuff, drinking water. So bring in a bunch of free.
Hey, Lisa. Gabby and I will be there for sure. Really looking forward to that.
So
Gabby wants to join.
Something I haven't even heard of it. Have you heard of Somavedic for 5G and structuring water? I'm not sure what that is.
So I've heard of Somavedic before. I'm not entirely sure about the validity of it personally. For EMF and 5G protection, just so you know, when you're protecting yourself from 5G, it's the radiation from the EMF. There's EMF, we are EMFs. So it's the radiation that comes from it. I actually use and recommend a brand called QI Waveguard. It's based out of Germany. I know the creator of that, and it's funny that you actually bring that up, Alexandra. He actually reached out to me a couple days ago and asked if I wanted to do some sort of campaign with his EMF protection. And I was thinking about it. I mean, I'm an H2 water expert. That's the most important part of me. But what you'll actually appreciate about their devices, Gary, is that in their devices they use easy water, just like the Nano V creates. Well, you're getting a little glitchy. Uh-oh. Oh no,
that was weird.
As soon as you bring up 5G, it starts getting all glitchy. Imagine that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's me or if that's you. I'm gonna assume it's me because I'm in the jungle.
Yeah. I'm not to place a blame on anyone, but I think it might be you, guys, based on what happened yesterday.
So let's adjust our water. Let's get that change. So everybody, let's do a fascia reset. Let's do an energy reset. Standing or sitting, take your right leg, and you can do sitting as well. Put it over top of your left. Take your right arm, put it underneath your left armpit, left arm on top. Take your head to the left, your body to the right. We're going to take 6 breaths in sync everywhere in the world at the same time. So 3 through the mouth and 3 through the nose. 3, 2, 1 through the mouth. 2. 3. 3 the nose. 2. 3.
Hey, look at that.
I got real quiet.
Look at that connection. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing my screen a lot clearer. That's actually what I'm looking forward to the most for the 16th. When we did that class, the 250 plus person class in the summer there, that just the energy was like palpable. You could actually feel it.
Yeah, it's actually, we did the one in Joshua Tree. It was like 10 times. There's an acceleration at me. It was literally 10 times.
Well, that's a chakra point in the planet is at Joshua Tree too. So you're getting added energy of that and all the nature that you're in. I mean, to feel the energy that we did in Vancouver in our concrete jungle where we were, we had the ocean water right beside us, but yeah, nothing's going to compare to Joshua Tree like that.
Okay, you started with, somebody said, what about Kangen water? You started with Kangen water. Nothing wrong with Kangen
Nope.
water. You just
Yeah.
have to have a pre-filter, right?
Yeah, and so the two very main important things when it comes to Kangen water is absolutely make sure that you have a pre-filter wherever you are in the world. Their filtration only removes chlorine, so it doesn't matter where you are, you do need pre-filtration. And number two is just it comes with citric acid e-cleaner that you absolutely need to clean your machine on your own every 3 to 4 weeks. And then you have to make sure you send it to head office once a year to have them deep clean it. That's actually in your warranty if you read through that. And so that's the other than that, like personally, grateful for Kangen. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that. But it's just, I had to make different decisions for myself and my health.
Well, what I like for our point of view is I can't deal with maintenance because that causes a load, and we don't have a big.
It's inconvenient.
Yeah, like what I like about the Alcaviva is the anode and the cathode switch every time so that it self-cleans.
Yeah, so the cathode attracts or scales calcium. That's where the hydrogen-rich alkaline water comes from. The anode repels the calcium. With the Alcaviva machine, it switches every single time you use it. By that happening, you're eliminating the possibility of calcium scaling, and it's an incredible technology to have inside your machine.
So somebody said any uses for the gray water, the water comes out. Absolutely, that's great water for plants.
Yeah, great water for plants. You can actually use that for cooking if you want. Just have a 5-gallon jug that you feed the gray water. Berry lime.
I'm going to do that. That's going to save us. Well, I can only do that on that. Well, actually, no, I can do it the other way. That's going to save us a ton because we use it a lot because we have people coming through and filling up bottles, so we go through filters quite a bit. But that's a great idea for cooking. I'm gonna make a whole water thing for cooking right by the stove. Just pour it in the stove. Perfect. I'm gonna do that now. That's a fantastic idea. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, because it's still filtered properly. Any water that comes out of the machine is gonna be filtered properly. Somebody asked if the Kangen machine self-cleans also. Sort of. It does. It's a 25 to 1 cleaning cycle. So every I think 25 liters or so, it'll go through a cleaning cycle. But that isn't enough to prevent scaling. The acidic water is.
Explain that. If it scales, you'll get alkalinity, but you won't get the hydrogen anymore.
100%. Any hydrogen that you are getting is done, and you'll never get that back.
Alkalinity does not heal the body.
Exactly. The Alcaviva machine is 1 to 1. So every single time you use it, it's cleaning itself essentially. Jeannie, when they say the gray water, that's talking about the countertop machine. You have the Delphi, the under-counter machine. It's the second hose or the second faucet that comes out, the bottom one that's below your main faucet.
I got to tell you, like you said, I know I did it for aesthetics purposes, the first thing, but you told me, you said, well, actually, the other one works better. And I'm like, yeah, but this one looks nice, and that's what I said. But I gotta tell you, I like using the countertop unit better.
I personally, and that's what I tell every single person is I personally like the countertop machine better. That's just a personal preference. A lot of people don't like any sort of clutter on the countertop. If that's the case, by all means, go with the Delphi and get the under-counter unit. The other aspect to it is the Vesta or the countertop machines are easy to transport, so, as you clearly know. So yeah,
somebody asked if you ship anywhere in the world. I mean, you ship those parts into Mexico where we can't even put our supplements there. So yeah, I guess pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I've got customers from Australia to Hawaii. And I've got customers in Abu Dhabi. I've got relationships built with Alcaviva in Australia now, Alcaviva in the EU as well, and soon to be Alcaviva in India, because I know that's on your guys' navigation is going into India more.
We just gotta bump another level to the government so that we can go there without the visas.
Yeah,
we're at that stage.
It's good old, red tape bureaucracy stuff. I totally understand that, but I'm looking forward to helping and serving people over there because there's a huge need. Anywhere in South America, yeah, that one. It's just a matter of getting it shipped from Alcaviva, US, down to South America. But yeah, absolutely, anywhere in the world I can ship to.
Okay, Shane, thank you very much. Today was a great talk. We
Yes,
covered
absolutely.
topics. We covered the health of water. We covered machines. We covered different ways to do it. And they can go to H2 Water Experts. If you haven't done it, follow that, share the page, share the content on that page. There's lots of really good content, lots of carousels with information to help people understand more about hydrogen, water, or water in general. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you have any questions at all, message me. I'm happy to help you make an informed decision. I'm here to help. I appreciate you very much, Gary. Wish I was with you down there doing this with you, but and I'm glad that we were able to transition from thirsty Thursdays into filtered Fridays. But we'll see you. We'll do this again in a couple weeks and see what we talk about then.
Okay, awesome, Shane. Thank you. I like these topics because you know what? It took me 4 or 5 times hearing some of this stuff to really process it, because there's a lot of anything that truly affects the health of the body. There's going to be a lot of controversial, let's say, science. And the funny thing about science and statistics is that you can just cut it however you want it. As a matter of fact, you can make it say whatever you want. It's just where you cut the ends that you talk about. And by having these open discussions and these questions is great. Like everything down from the machines to, you know, like the one question about the vibration. Thank you for putting that up there, because what you mentioned was a specific element, but there was more to what you're mentioning, which is great. We had the chance to talk about it, and I'd like to get those conversations out. If you want to talk about the science of hydrogen generators, actually just DM him, message him. He'll give you all the peer-reviewed science. Okay, Hillary. Vibration music in the bath. Yeah, Teresa, that works really good. Hello, Hillary.
Oh my God, hold on. Can you see me? Hold on.
I can see something, but it's not you. I see a
No,
bed.
hold on.
I see a bed. I see a pillow. Nice comforter. Looks very floral. You have to press.
Hold on. I'm going to have to change this over.
There's the arrows going each
Hi,
way.
guys. What way do I go?
An arrows going each way.
Oh, yeah.
So third one over.
Oh my God. I listened to you nearly, oh my God, since June. Yeah, thanks. I don't know where to start with you. Oh my God.
Okay,
Thank you for taking
where are
this.
you, first of all?
I'm in Ireland.
Yeah, that wasn't obvious from the accent. and when's your birthday?
The 15th of June,
I
1977.
knew you were Gemini. I was going to say Gemini. Yeah.
Yeah, oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where to start really. I don't know what. Do you want to ask me something?
Lots of people in Ireland, they need Geminis to go out there and start doing classes and showing it to everybody, because there's so many people in Ireland, but you're all in your homes doing it by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, look, Gary, I wanted to ask, I don't know if you can see anything with me, but I haven't been myself since June.
Who have you been?
I've been very stressed in the last few months, and I just wasn't myself at all.
Something changed 2 days ago for you?
No, I don't know.
Yesterday and today, does it feel different than it did last week?
Not really. I don't. In what way do you mean?
You said you haven't felt like yourself. Did you feel different 2 days ago? Did you feel a switch, or yesterday?
No. The thing is, in June I started kind of having panic attacks and just terrible anxiety. I was very stressed. My kids had just done their exams, and when I say I wasn't myself, I didn't feel I was connected to my life, or if that makes sense.
It does make sense, because that's
Yeah.
what I asked you about 2 days ago. 2 days ago was Gemini and Scorpio. It was the end of the way I think about my old story. So the way I thought
Yeah.
about my life and my story and the stories I tell myself 2 days ago in Gemini, Scorpio, Gemini, high level of Gemini, Scorpio, we are now telling ourselves a new story. Like, I'm no longer going to think that way. I'm going to think differently. I'm no longer going to do that this way. I'm going to do this differently. And that just happened. But up from your birthday all the way to now, it's been like banging on on your head the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, all the old stories where people are getting stuff out of their bodies, you're getting it out of your head because you're a Gemini, and you're a master level Gemini too. You're like 7, 6, 7. You're 22, 20. Oh, sheet. I think you might be a 23-degree Gemini. If you are, you're a Grandmaster Gemini. That means, did you have a really rough childhood for up to 30 years old?
No, not really. Not really a rough, but I would have been much of a worrier.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. But I'd appreciate any kind of advice. I've got done my bloods and everything, and it's shown that my estrogen is really low. I don't know about HRT, and I'm just taking I have a magnet that I'm using at the moment, a Lady Care magnet. I'd appreciate any advice or any way that I can feel normal in my life again.
Maneuvers yet?
No. What way would I find them on YouTube, or do you have to go on the website?
Okay, I'll tell you exactly what to do. You'll get out of this real quick. The reason why you're in your head all the time already, you're Gemini. And all the other Geminis in the chat can come in and start saying that. So first and foremost, you're a master level Gemini. I think you might even be a grandmaster. I think you might be 23 degree. And that'd make it even worse, like amplified. So your estrogen levels are going to go down as your stress goes up. But so will your testosterone, so will your oxytocin, so will your serotonin, so will your dopamine. So you got to bring the stress down. So 2 things you can get. You can get Irish moss, which you can get anywhere in Ireland. So start taking Irish moss every day. Put it in your smoothie, put it in the soups, give it to the kids. You all do better. And take diatomaceous earth. Okay. The thing is that in Ireland, just like here in the United States or Canada, is that there's a lot of chemicals in the air that you're breathing, which is depleting your silica.
Yeah.
That silica depletion means you don't hold water properly, so it causes this panicky feeling because the brain's trying to solve a problem in the body it can't solve. It doesn't have the water. So get your hydration up with those 2 things, and then go to our website and do the upper reset. The very first time you do it, you'll have a change. And then do that once a day. Take it 30 minutes. Do it once a day. Just try it out for a week, and I'm willing to bet you the change will be substantial.
Yeah. Do you have to pay for the 28? So do I just click in on the 28-day reset? Yeah.
Yeah, but don't even do that yet, because a lot of people fail. They try to go right to the 28-day reset. Before you do that, it's a bit. You're gonna manage a lot. Just get your body ready for the 28-day. Go do the upper reset. It's on our website. Go to humangarage.net and go to fascial maneuvers, and then you'll see upper reset. Just do the upper reset. Do it once a day. It takes 30 minutes, and do that for a couple weeks. Just do that first, because that'll help your body get ready, help you get out of your head a little bit, and then you can in Ireland you can get Irish sea moss anywhere. You can get it made in a gel. Start taking a big heaping spoon of that every day, and get some diatomaceous earth. Really inexpensive diatomaceous earth you can get for like $20 for a bag of it, and start taking it with your Irish sea moss. Do that with the upper reset. You will have a change in the way that you feel, your anxiety and your panic levels, usually within the first 7 to 10 days.
Yeah. It's just that I felt like, oh God, is there something going on in my head or what? It's just like this kind of doom, or I can't explain it. It's just like I'm not myself at all. Like I just can't explain it.
Well,
it's affecting my life.
You're not yourself.
No.
everybody in the world's gone through this change or this transition. We've pushed a marshmallow through a keyhole. Everybody in the world's changing. The energy of the world's changing. Nobody's themselves. The old us died, and you're still trying to hold on to it in your brain. And if your body's not functioning, you're gonna get a loop. That's what's gonna happen. So just honestly, like, if you get off of this right now and go do the upper reset, by the time you're done the upper reset, you'll feel more like yourself than you have in months.
Okay.
First time you do it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you. What else is there? Yeah. Is there anything for my jaw? My jaw is out of lock. Would that help as well? The upper
When your
reset.
jaw's locked, it creates stress and panic in your body.
Okay.
So in the upper reset, it has the jaw release, the head release, the neck release. So as I'm saying, upper reset, the only other thing you want to do as a Gemini is the barefoot sprinter routine will help you bring it into your body. Those are two routines. They're both on the same section. It would take you approximately 40 minutes max to do them. The very first time you do them, you will feel different as a Gemini, I promise you.
Okay. So I go to your website, .net, Human Garage.
Yeah, humangarage.net, then do the upper reset. And if you feel like you want to keep going, do the barefoot sprinter routine number 2. You can't miss it. Those are two of the ones that are published on there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's great.
And now go give yourself the moss and start giving it to your kids too. Irish sea moss in the gel. Put it in their soups. Make it in smoothies, whatever. It's because you're being depleted of minerals right now, and that helps you get your minerals, and then get the diatomaceous earth, which you're probably going to have to order.
Yeah.
Food grade.
I just find as well with kind of the stress and that my my memory as well is just all kind of messed up or confusion.
It'll all come back right away.
Yeah. Okay. And what else? The Irish sea moss, and what's the other thing you said? Can I get it on your website or?
Yeah, we have a supplement guide on there. It tells you what to take for supplements. Diatomaceous earth is the one. Yeah, and if you just take that with the Irish sea moss, do the upper reset, do that for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then do the 28-day reset. Because it'll be too much to go right into the 28-day reset. Where you're at right now, you need to get back into your body, get the stress out, let your body detox a little bit, and then do the 28-day reset.
All right. So the before the 28-day reset, I do the first ones. Is it? Which one did you say?
Upper reset. Think upper body.
Upper reset.
And upper body. Okay. You're going to do the full body, but it's focused on the upper body, and you're Gemini. So Gemini, your hands, your wrists, your elbows, your head, and your neck are super important.
Okay, so the upper reset. Okay, all right. That's great. Thank you, Gary.
Take some pictures. Your face is going to change, and your whole demeanor, your feeling of anxiousness can't get in your head, like confusion, all that. That'll go away usually within a week.
So would you advise then, like for menopausal, then like HRT or the magnet? 46.
So we have women honestly coming out of menopause in their mid-50s and early 60s right now, coming back out of menopause. I personally think 46 is too early to be in menopause.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know whether stress would bring that on though.
Yes, it will. Absolutely. Stress is taking women in their mid to late 30s and putting them into menopause right now. Yeah, like you wouldn't believe. I don't know what the actual number is, but my guesstimate would be like somewhere between 15 and 20% of women coming up to 40, like between 35 and 40, are already going into premenopause, and even younger. I have women reporting menopausal symptoms in their early 30s now.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Like, just so much stress in everybody's lives at the moment. Yeah.
Get rid of it right away.
Okay.
Okay, and then do your Gemini thing. Tell the world about it.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Okay. Thank you. I caught by surprise. I didn't think you'd take my call. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
That's cool. I love how Geminis work. It's so fun. It's evolved me. It's evolved me. Oh, that's not letting me do that. Oh, there it is. Hi there.
Hi, Gary. My name is
Go ahead.
my name is Stephanie. Birthday December 16th, so I'm excited for the.
Oh, December 16th. Where are you located?
I'm in Texas.
Texas. Where in Texas?
My husband's military, so we're stationed at Fort Hood right now.
Fort Hood. So you've been around for a while.
Yes.
Do you have kids?
I do. I have two teenagers, 19 and 16.
19. So they've been moving around for a long time too.
He's about to retire, so 20 years, yes.
Yeah, I mean that's actually, there's a certain strength that the kids get when they get to move and they go from place to place. What part of the service is your husband in?
Army.
Yeah. What does he do in the Army?
He's infantry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he
Hardcore.
was invasion at the beginning of the Iraq War, so.
And December 16th, do you know your degree of Sagittarius?
I don't. I was actually trying to look at that the other day.
Go to astro.com because most likely you're a 24 degree. Are you always trying to balance things off, or are you?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you daydreaming,
That's
like in your head, like floaty daydreaming, or are you more fiery, trying to balance things off, make them work?
balance, definitely balance.
So you're 24 degree most likely. So that means you're a Libra Sagittarius. So you're trying to so you got a lot of fire in you, and you're trying to make your life a little less fiery. You're trying to,
Yeah.
it's like, why can't I just live like everybody else?
I think especially in this lifestyle too, moving every 2 years has definitely got me trying to find balance all the time.
Yeah. Are you a typical Sag? Do you have a long torso and shorter legs?
Yes.
Okay, so so I'm just getting a sense of where you're going. So what's your question?
So I actually commented yesterday because I was in Hawaii. I commented earlier too, where our water was poisoned.
Right.
And so we were stationed in Hawaii. Our water got poisoned, and we drank and bathed and cooked with that water for a year before we knew about it. So my entire family got sick of a variety of things. So from my husband got high blood pressure. Our kids got like stomach issues, skin issues. I got the worst of it. And I think that's because I am more of a worrier and I stress more when we do move. I take on everything every single time we move. So I got the worst of everything, and I got stuck in fight or flight, like literally stuck in it. I was having adrenaline rushes multiple times a day. And this went on for a year before they helped us move from Hawaii back to the mainland, because of course, doctors, they're like, well, let's do all the testing. It's your hormones. They thought it was like my adrenal gland. So they wanted to get me better specialists. So they moved us back to Texas. And of course, going through all the testing, nothing was getting better and everything was getting worse as I came back to Texas. And I think that's like obviously like detoxing from all of the water, finally getting into a place. But it got to where I wasn't able, like I was starting to be allergic to everything, anything and everything.
Yeah.
So hives, flushing, heart palpitations, anytime I ate anything, anytime I went from hot to cold. I mean, it was crazy. I just felt like I needed to live in a bubble, on top of racing thoughts, all of that stuff, anxiety. I came upon Human Garage on Instagram one day, scrolling, trying to find, because I started to find like nervous system dysregulation is where I was leaning towards.
Sure.
Okay, maybe this is going to help me. Found Human Garage, did the 15-minute reset, and that same day came out of fight or flight after 2 years of being in it.
It really is that simple. You get a lot of people that are listening to this who have watched. I've had people watch for a year who haven't done a maneuver yet.
Yeah. So it's been, I think I'm on day 18 of doing the 15-minute reset 3 times a day.
Whoa. Okay, that's perfect, because
Yeah,
that's where you get it. It's once a day is great, but what happens is your stress spikes, you bring it down. Great spikes, bring it down. Yeah, and what's changing for you? What have you noticed?
I can food. Like I can go, like I've been eating all kinds of food now, getting better at that. I felt the biggest thing is because I felt like once I got back to the mainland, my body used my menstrual cycle to dump all the toxins that I had got. So my iron went from like normal to almost nothing, my iron levels. And so my doctors were like, oh, that's the problem. You have low iron. They wanted to give me infusions and this stuff, but I was like, my body is stressed right now. Can we just hold off on anything? Like, let me try on my own. And so I felt like my body was like closed, like there was no flow into it. Excuse me. It wasn't open to healing. And so when I started doing the 15-minute resets, that's the biggest change. Well, besides coming out of fight or flight and actually not having anxiety or anxiousness or any of that and being able to eat, I felt like my body was healing itself. Like, yes, it was now the stuff that I was eating was doing what it was supposed to. My sleep was doing what it was supposed to. Water was doing what it was supposed to. Like, it was now open. So like, I feel I'm going back for more like just iron testing, because it did go up within 2 months. While I was here, it went up very slightly, but now I'm very interested to see what happens that I've been doing these resets to see what it's gone up now, because they told me it's impossible for it to go up any. So they were pushing me to do the iron infusions. And I was like, well, like I said, my body was in a stressful state. So I'm trying to hold off on that. But I feel definitely better. And I can tell because at the beginning, like the first 2-3 days of doing the 15-minute reset 3 times a day, I was sweating. I was shaking afterwards. I was like shortness of breath, but I just kept doing it because I was like, this is like, I can feel it. It's working. It's definitely working. So I did the 1 day, I did the 3 day, I did the 7 day, and now I just started yesterday, the 28 day. But through all of it.
Yeah, you're going to have a change. But to get your iron up is to take diatomaceous earth. Because when the issue with absorption, especially after basically you've been poisoned. So the issue is that your body can't absorb the nutrients properly, and the first thing that happens is you go deficient in silica, and then you're also being poisoned in the air too. I mean, you got to come in 6 ways to Sunday living in a military base, right?
Right. Yes. Every base is different and has its own set of problems. I'm sure we've lived in moldy places and things like that. Around.
So, but here's the good news. You're already feeling it. When you take your body, I say this to people all the time, if you take your body out of stress 2 times, 3 times a day, it will heal through literally anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reason why we don't heal is because we're in stress. The body is a self-healing machine, but the average person lives in stress. So you've taken it, I mean, Sagittarius. It's like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all the way.
I actually took a leave off of work prior to starting it, like right when I found the program, because I work from home for the New York Times, which is
what do you do for New York Times?
I work in the marketing department.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, cool.
It wasn't that, I didn't think it was that stressful, but I knew that this was like my last go round, because before I took the leave of absence from work, I was at the end, like I was so desperate to find something, because I knew there was something missing. And I knew that like the poison of the water and everything like that was bad and could have caused a whole bunch of issues. But the fact that my body was that closed off, I couldn't explain it, and I couldn't find a cure or whatever. And finding the 15-minute reset, and when I did it and felt the difference, it was like all clicked.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things. Let's take it to the next level. In the 28-day reset, we start talking about removing chemicals. I mean, there's a portion of it you can do. There's a portion of it's hard to do because where you are. One of the things is your water, even where you are, it still has contaminants in it. It has fluoride in it. So inexpensively, you get a vitamin C shower head. Do you have a bath or just a shower?
We have both.
Okay. Get a vitamin C shower head. When you fill up your bath, do it through the shower, because that'll take out the fluoride and the fluorine, and then all the other filters. And the other thing you can do is get vitamin C bath bombs. These are really good because they'll take out if you get the fluoride out, that's the next level of detoxification. Get diatomaceous earth. You get a bag of it for like $20 or $30 off Amazon, a big one, 20-pound bag. Use a 1/4 cup in your bath. with a quarter cup of Epsom salts and a quarter cup of borax.
Okay.
And then what that does is it will, what it does is the mineralization from the bath will start seeping through your skin into the layers of fascia, because you're going to hold a lot of the toxicity in the very first layer underneath the skin. The first layer of fascia is your lungs. Chinese medicine will even tell us that. And so this is where a lot of it, because we breathe 70% of the water we breathe comes, our 70% of our detoxification comes from our breathing, because we breathe 70% of our water out there. So that's the very first part, is that'll help with that layer of fascia and also with your lungs as well. The borax, just read, it's boron. So if you read on the health benefits of boron, you'll be shocked. And start with that. Second thing is, I know that you guys have a limited budget because of how you're paid and stuff like that. So send me a DM afterwards. I'm going to send you some supplements out for your family, okay? So I'm going to send you out the Power Kirk. It's going to help you right away. What it does is the Power Kirk targets the fascia and releases the inflammation at the cellular level. So your fascia basically opens up. And when it opens up, all the work that you're doing with the resets and that's going to happen a lot faster. And then of course we've got the diatomaceous earth and the Irish sea moss in a pill format with some other products. They're going to stabilize your blood sugar. By doing that, your iron levels and your mineralization and your hormone levels are going to start to balance. Usually within by the time you're done the 28-day reset. So like I'll ship them out to you right away. You'll have them by the time you start your 28-day or the first little bit in there.
Okay.
Document your process, because you've been doing a lot of tests. So collect your test. Do this because there's a lot of people that are going through the same thing that you're going through, and you've naturally found your way out. Like I tell people all the time, if you don't have any money to do anything, you just do the resets 3 times a day, you'll come out of anything, and that's what's already happened.
Yeah, like just that. And there's a Facebook group of families that we were all affected by that water, and they've gone through, I mean, seizures, skin issues, pets dying. Yeah. There's, I think, 2 children that now have been diagnosed with leukemia because it was jet fuel in the water. So
yeah, it's scary.
I can't wait.
Over 80% of women's breast milk in worldwide right now in G40 nations has jet fuel in their breast milk.
Wow. I
can't
imagine.
Yeah.
Hawaii is great to live there, except for this part, for that part. But the only thing is that I did have a question, is that although I am feeling better and I am seeing that my left side has some kind of like restriction. It's tightness in my back, my hip.
That is not, that's just exacerbated by the chemicals. That's because you're being asked to open up your feminine and your emotional side. And you're go, do. Like you have rules for your emotions, and you've been stuffing them down to get what you need to get done for a long time. That's why the left side's having troubles opening up.
So it's the emotion part I have to work on now.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Your degree of Sagittarius, you if you don't balance off, because you're basically a Libra Sagittarius. If you don't create balance between your emotions, your actions, and the fire that you have in your sign, it's just, and your bodies, they're gonna keep telling you until you do it. It's basically opening up, asking, letting people help you a little bit more, being willing to accept help. Taking and letting emotions be rather than trying to move out of them. Like if you're angry, let yourself be angry and don't judge yourself for it. If you're sad or depressed, let yourself be sad or depressed for a bit. Feel it. So feel the emotion. Go, oh, that's what that feels like. Like your emotions are like little kids trying to talk at you. They're pulling on your shirt saying, over here, look at me. and you've been going, okay, get out of my way. I got things to do your whole life. How old are you?
My whole life.
How old are you?
35.
35. Oh yeah, and you're in your decision year. So you're deciding on what is right for your spiritual development this year. And you are going to accelerate all the way to because you're going to 36, which is your take charge, take action year. starting on the equinox. Well, you start on the 16th, but on the equinox, it's going to be like a whole new world for you. Thank God you're doing what you're doing right now, because most people, if you look at, like, when I start off the lives, everybody all of a sudden is like, I got health issue. What do I do for this? What do I do for that? And it's like crazy. Like our lines, our help lines are just literally decimated with people coming in because they're not taking care of their body. And if we're not taking care of our body and the stress, we're getting hammered right now. And that's just because of what's happening in the world.
Yeah, unfortunately, my family has a lot of issues that I think derive from stress. And we've had a lot of trauma in our family early on.
Your mom's birthday?
Well, I'm adopted by my grandparents. So my birth mother, her birthday is May 22nd.
Okay. And so Gemini in the head. What about your grandparents?
My grandparents are actually very old. They're still alive. My grandmother's 86. Her birthday is January 22nd. My grandfather will be 96 on December 7th.
Oh, another sad. Okay. Yeah. So basically, your mom, your mom was in your mother's and your grandmother's life to teach her how to think about things differently. And so that's what your mom was doing. She was just like, I'm over there, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do this. Yeah. And the Aquarius and your grandmother just wanted everything to be equal and fair and didn't see why your mom was acting that way. So,
Yeah.
so you're the in-between. Listen, I have a prediction. I'm not even going to say it, but I have a prediction of where you're going to be in a year. Because you've already taken the hardest part out. And if people would just do what you're doing and do that stress reset or do one of those resets 3 times a day, their entire lives would change. And most of the people I talk to on these lives, if they just did what you're doing, they would work their way out. But you were poisoned. They're just having issues because they're stuffing their emotions down. They're not eating good. You literally were poisoned and you found your way out.
Yeah. And I do believe that the poisoning was like the straw that broke the camel's back, because before then I was already having like mild anxiety and this and that. I mean, being military lifestyle and all of that stress was, enough. But I think it was kind of, I guess, meant to be, because that poison made me stop and like, okay, you can't shove things down anymore. Like, you really have to take care of and learn about the stress.
There you go.
And out.
There you go. That is the master level Sagittarius that you are, the perpetual student and teacher. And that's to take your life's lesson, not be the victim, and to learn from it. You're right. It's exactly what it is. That's why I said I have a strong prediction where you're going. So I want to help out. So I'm going to send me a message, say that you're in the Army, you're on the live today. I'm going to send you supplements for your family and for your husband too.
Thank
Because you guys all need them, and that'll help you jump to the next level. Okay, in the 28-day reset, you're going to start learning more education about why and how to clean up your environment. And just do your best that you can within the scope. After that's the Lifestyle Artist Program. The Lifestyle Artist Program is where you really start to deal with your emotions. But it's hard to deal with your emotions when you're in stress in your body, because the body keeps triggering the emotional state. So it's literally almost impossible. That's why people are going to do talk therapy and they go for yoga and they go for meditation. Their bodies are so stressed out. It doesn't work. It actually makes it worse.
Yeah, I see that too, because like I said before, even doing just talk therapy and things like that, it didn't ever seem to help me. But now learning this and learning why, because my body was already at its tipping point of stress. Now I understand. So I guess once I get this, I can jump into that.
Yeah, it's disease, right? And people think disease is some sort of fictitious thing out there that you might get. You want to stay away from it like a virus. But it's not. Disease is the body's not at ease. Dis-ease. And if I'm angry or fearful or shame or guilt, that's a dis-ease. If I hold it long enough, somebody somewhere will have some sort of way of measuring it. And we measure it at the point that it is, like you said, I'm poisoned now. And what they were doing is they were taking all your symptoms and trying to fix your symptoms. Like, oh, your hormones are off. You don't have the iron. Well, it's because I'm being poisoned, and my hormones are off because I'm in stress and I can't balance anything.
Right. My grandmother, we're actually an indigenous people, and she kept telling me, like, you're closed, something's closed. And I didn't understand. I just couldn't understand. And she told me, well, go to like a doctor that is in natural medicine or something. And I did. And they were kind of leaning me towards the same thing about fascia maneuvers and stuff, but they didn't quite have the program or the
well,
education.
because in the indigenous culture, you didn't have the stressors.
Mm-hmm.
So the medicine was, you're already in nature, you're living in a community, you're already contributing each other. They've taken that all away from indigenous culture.
Yeah.
They've just blown up, because if the world understood the truth of indigenous lifestyle, they would live it. And if they did, all the diseases would start to go away. The diseases are a byproduct. The chemicals are a byproduct of the disease. The disease is, I don't know how to live in culture anymore. I don't know how to live in community. I don't know how to commune with nature.
And my grandmother said something to me yesterday when she was talking about, because she grew up working in the fields at South Texas and everything, picking cotton and, you know, moving around like that. But she told me the other day, I think it was yesterday, she was talking about how they used to move to a different farm or ranch to work, and they would plant their next season of food. So they never had to like take food with them. They would just grow it. And she was like saying the soil now is tired. It's tired. Like it used to be a lot of feeling. And I was like, just so bizarre, like that we don't know that anymore. Like we don't even think about that anymore. And it reminded me of you and your lives, how you talk about, you know, that we don't have the minerals and stuff in the soil anymore.
Yeah, it's gone. That's why, you know, we tell people, that's why I want you to get the diatomaceous, or you get a local supplier of sea moss. You're down there, or survivalmoss.com. We work with them. They're on our website. I want people, I really encourage them, like, our supplements aren't there for us to make money. They pay the bills so we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what they do. But they're not there for us to make money. We're not trying to be in a supplement company. We want people to go and start adding this back into their food supply, because your body can't habituate a supplement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can habituate, food, a dish, something that you enjoy. And it can actually habituate that. Like one of my favorite things with the Irish sea moss is I put it in a lot of lime. I put it in soda water, and we have a fascial sweet. It sweetens the water without sugar. And I put just lime, soda water with Irish sea moss, blend it up, and it's like this drink that I can't get enough of, because it's full of the minerals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
You want to do something for Sagittarius and for you right now?
Sure.
Together? Okay, now don't forget, please DM me and tell me you're on the live. I'm gonna send this out for your family, okay? Okay, so I'm taking your right hand, this is my left side.
okay.
So Sagittarius is about the number 3, the color blue, the planet Jupiter, which is a story, belief. And then when Sagittarius are off belief, they worry too much. Plain. Okay? Take the left hand, put it behind your neck. Okay, breathe in through your mouth. 2. 3. Repeat after me. I'm learning to believe in myself again.
I'm learning to believe in myself again.
I'm learning to trust myself.
I'm learning to trust myself.
Breathe in through your nose. 2. 3. Take your right hand, put it on your throat, pull the skin up a little bit. Breathe in through your mouth. 2. 3. I will speak my truth even when it's inconvenient for others.
I will speak my truth when it's inconvenient for others.
I'm learning that my voice is important.
I'm learning that my voice is important.
I will speak what's on my heart.
I will speak my heart.
Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3. From this day forward, I will only speak my new story.
From this day forward, I will only speak my new story. My hand always gets hot when it's on my neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's you have a purpose in this world. What you're going through is forcing you to wake up.
Yeah.
I know you feel that, but you're connecting to something right now today that's going to allow you to experience it. But it's not going to be long until you are completely on a new story.
I can't wait.
So and the 28-day reset, there's people that are going to help you. There's classes that you can go to. There's emotional release classes that help you process and talk. I suggest you do them. There's actually online classes for people in the 28-day reset. You can find it under events in the reset. And they're held by the coaches and the lifestyle artists that are in front of you. The whole program is built on helping the people behind you. And so that way it can scale infinitely. So you're becoming a part of a generation that is actually helping the generation behind them heal, which is an indigenous culture. In indigenous cultures, people are seen to have obligations, not rights. Rights were taught to indigenous. I have the right for this and the right for that. We don't have rights. We have obligations. My obligation is to take care of me and take care of the people around me. Is to share, is to help, is to give back to why I live.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to getting to know you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have any advice for maneuvers? I have a big fat tummy, can't put my hand on tummy like that. Yeah, you can. So if you got too much in the tummy area there, you just put your hand on top, okay? And you can even go like this. It's basically connecting this area with this area, and that's what you're doing. Is connecting. And I've learned through my situation. Let's see here if I can show you. Oops. I don't know why. I used to be able to bring up assets, and it's not letting me do that now. Pictures. If anybody knows how to do this now, I'm not able to bring up any pictures. I mean, I can put a funny hat on here, I think. I can do that. I can do that. Okay, there you go. But I can't seem to bring, oh, what happened there? I can't seem to bring up pictures anymore. How's that gonna I don't know why I can't bring up pictures anymore. So I was gonna show you because I no longer have the same belief about weight and fat that I used to. And it's funny because I have a lot of professional athletes and doctors that they always ask me the same question. They ask me about, what's the difference between visceral fat and adipose fat? And they're starting to come to the same idea that what is it? At the end of it, it's water that gets trapped with information at some point. That water starts to turn into this brown or puty color, and that's because it's not moving. The question is, why is it not moving? And what happens if it stays there too long? It gets white. Yeah, we're going to have a whole talk about that with some really smart people, some experts in weight management and nutrition and weight management who are now changing their belief system. And You guys, it's funny because we don't have to prove it anymore. We have hundreds of thousands of people that are reporting these things. Yeah, that's all emotional, 100% of it. Yeah, 100%. That's what I believe now. And I went and became like this and came down. It's what's crazy is I don't have to, at my age at 54, I had to do things every day to maintain my weight, but I didn't have to do them when I was 18. But it, you know, somewhere around my 30s, if I didn't work out, it would change pretty quick. And today, if I don't do nothing, it seems like I get better, and I can't explain it. But well, I can explain it, but I can't explain it with today's traditional science. What if you pee out groundwater and you drink it? Yeah, if that's your midstream, you drink it. It's giving your body information. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to end there. I'm going to go catch. We have 50 people arriving today here. Show you a little bit about. Actually, I'll walk in. I'll show you where I'm at. And I'll talk to you as I'm walking. Got my little hydrogen machine here, and that's the ocean, Pacific Ocean, which is cool. And that Pacific Ocean, I was out. There was this place here. Hold on one second. It was Montezuma's. It was the place was Montezuma's beach, I think it's called. And my buddy down here. Hold on one second, okay, guys. Sorry. Gotta put this together here. My buddy down here, carnivorous Aurelius. He lives down here. He lives just about 20 minutes away from here. I thought he said to me, "Oh, that's an easy beach." So I go start swimming and I'm surfing the waves. I'm like, "Man, these waves are high. They're like 20 feet." So I'm surfing the waves of my body, and he comes and he goes, "Did you go surfing that?" And I said, "Yeah, I went body surfing." And he goes, "Man, people die on this beach." Thank you, everybody. Have a really good weekend.